Okay, I am ready. Everyone else ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and I'll start it. Get off. There. All right, hello, Professor. Thank you for reviewing our Steinbeck project here. My name's Gage. I'm accompanied here by Jesus and Luke, and today we're going to be talking about the Steinbeck Site 1, and we're going to be tying different industries that we're interested in back to the Steinbeck winery and talk about how those connect. So I'm going to go ahead and let Luke kick us off here.
All right. Thank you, Gage. So for me, I am personally going into the information technology field, and so I'm going to look at some of the factors that will be working with Steinbeck and their Site One, and also the things that I'm going to work kind of in my career and in my future in IT. So the first thing that we're looking at, we're going to look at kind of the basis for IT, which is data, and you can't do anything in IT without data. And so that's really the backbone and the foundation of IT. And overall, this is the foundation of business, really. And so you can't do much without the data. And so what we're looking at here is how to use IT and data to address different factors in the business. And the first one we want to look at is how to use IT and data in labor and when you're hiring for people. One of the things that we're starting to see now is more use of chatbots and artificial intelligence in the hiring process. And a lot of jobs now, they use these chatbots to kind of help the HR in the initial foundation and starting of hiring. And so that's basically helps with repetitive tasks such as getting, the information from the clients and getting them basically hired. And so this helps speed up the process for HR and helps people get hired faster and kind of helps the business get the information that they need for for hiring the people in the process. And so one of the other things that we're seeing now is a lot of companies using technology such as you go back there, Gage,
Yep.
using social media such as LinkedIn and Indeed, and these websites are helping kind of get the job posting out there and helps kind of get more visibility for those jobs. And then that's one of the ways. And then once you hire the people, you want to also be able to hold on to them and retain the employees. And so we think that with more IT and better information technology, you can hold on to the employees by offering fair pay and you're able to recruit competitively. Also, you can offer incentives that will help the employees stick with the company. And so next, like I said, we are going to focus on using artificial intelligence. And one of the ways that we do it, like I said, is using it in the hiring process. And like I said, with the chat bots and also helping HR with those um, employees or prospective employees getting with the company. And then we'd also like to use AI in training. And this helps kind of build the models and the databases for just streamlining the process and getting the process going for the prospective employees. And then once you're able to get this going, you're able to enhance the efficiency and improve the quality of the process. And overall, we'd like to reduce the costs of the hiring and basically the many costs that are associated with hiring and in the human resources department. And then next, once the people are hired and they're in their roles, we'd like to look at how to manage production. And there's many ways that we can do that now with all the technology that's available and stuff like that. And there's a lot of software programs that are out there, and like I said, with the use of AI, that's taking over to help the repetitive and automated tasks. We're looking to kind of manage production more efficiently, and this involves using technology to optimize the processes and to improve resource allocation. And once you have this, you're able to monitor the operations in real time, and that helps the overall flow of the production and the workplace in general. And then next, like I said, once you streamline this production, one of the things that we focus on for this site, site one in particular, is using like RFID scanners in the production. And this is basically using scanners to help from the raw materials all the way through the finished goods products of the company. So in this situation, with the distillery and the winery, you're looking at once you have uh, produce the grapes and everything, you're able to track the progress in real time from the raw materials to all the way to where it's ready to go for the customer. And this is done by building a database, and you're able to kind of see step by step for all the inventory and overall warehouse planning. And then once you have this data and you're able to put this into something like SAP, which is a software program, and you're able to build an ERP system which helps see real-time insights and provide forecasting and inventory management overall. And this helps to kind of help the supply chain overall, and you're able to also kind of optimize the warehouse management and also reduce the idle time for for the employees. And this is just better production overall. And next, Gage will speak about law enforcement and his information.
Thank you, Luke. All right, so I'm going to be talking about the mitigating factors from Steinbeck's Site 1 and relating it to the corporate aspects of law enforcement, if you will. So the purpose of my section here is to link these aspects and subconcepts of the Steinbeck Winery to law enforcement agency work. And the topics I'll be talking about are AI automation, unionization, the importance of training your employees, and improving your brand as a law enforcement agency. Okay. So to start here, I'm going to talk about the value chain of law enforcement. So one of the subconcepts mentioned first for this project was planning efforts and strategies should also account for and include concepts to manage production, automation, controls needed to deliver and monitor product quality, machine performance, system/machine diagnostics, business continuity, and production work orders from the ERP system. This is basically talking about what are some technological advances uh, that law enforcement agencies can use to um, to make their work more efficient. So one of the multiple ways that law enforcement can make their work more efficient is using AI report writing and redaction. This helps officers write reports faster. It helps them stay on the streets for a longer period of time instead of being at the station writing these police reports. One of the next ways that we can help out is using AI powered crime analysis, using AI to look through crime statistics and figure out the best course of action for certain policing tactics. This will help make sure that law enforcement resources are used to their utmost efficiency. Next is automated evidence tracking. This is like what Luke said before, like using RFID tags to track physical evidence, maybe even using barcodes, um, and using a database to efficiently categorize evidence that's collected. And lastly, using cloud storage to store any electronic evidence that might be taken from flash drives, maybe photos taken by an officer's work phone, and this overall also helps reduce the overall physical evidence that can be within a police department, create more space in the evidence room by being able to take photos of maybe evidence that isn't um, needed to be stored. You can take photos of it and you can upload it to the cloud, and creates more space, and it makes collection of that evidence more efficient. And one of the big movers in this industry of value chain in law enforcement is Axon. They're the company that first invented the taser, which is what pretty much every agency pretty much every agency in America and around the world carries a taser now. So they're a pretty big first mover in this industry, and they start out with the taser. Now they've branched out to cloud storage, body-worn cameras, their own phones, drones, anything technological that can help officers in their line of duty. And this kind of correlates back to Steinbeck as well because you can use AI, use cloud computing technology that can your streamline your work efficiency and make you more efficient, make you more productive, and allow you to make better quality products and services. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is unionization of law enforcement. This Steinbeck subconcept talks about how basically how the facility is parent company and it's being integrated, and how teams from other companies and other groups are being acquired and integrated into one company-wide system, and how are we going to have them adjust to new policies and new procedures. So what's some technology benefits and some drawbacks on how we can implement training in the technical and human resources arenas. So some ways uh, that training helps law enforcement agencies is that understand that officers carry a firearm on their hips. They might feel safe out in the field, but in their own departments they're still subject to the same levels of workplace harassment, workplace violence that any other company is subject to. So being able to have standardized sexual harassment trainings, computer security trainings, as well as proper equipment training, just helps officers just helps these employees and officers respect each other more in the department, and it's going to lower that level of harassment tickets that are turned into HR. Another thing that can help to help people adjust to new policies is just writing a just writing effective policy, one that makes sense that people can easily follow, and that also writing policy in there that if people should break these types of rules, that gives you leeway to terminate or take the right corrective action to make sure that these issues won't happen again. Another another efficient way to help with new policy and procedures is internal affairs. This help they're basically looking through and they're like an investigation team for your company, and they're looking through making sure your employees are not doing any breach of department policy, making sure they're following company rules. And in the case of police departments, they're making sure that officers are following local law, following state law, federal law, and making sure that they're respecting people's human rights. And then lastly, a way to help people adjust to new policy procedures um, is actually to unionize. This helps officers basically it keeps a buffer between them and their employer, and it allows them to basically fight back if they believe there's any unjust policy or procedure that's put in place. It allows them to have competitive salaries as well as keep competitive benefits that are equal to the level of their job. And lastly, here I'm going to talk about the brand of law enforcement. So the sub concept for the Steinbeck basically talks about how can we use marketing and not necessarily sales in this case of law enforcement. How can marketing and advertisement maybe help plan the needs to be considered for an organization to better its brand? And I understand with what's been going on the past couple of years that the brand, you could say, of law enforcement has been tainted quite a bit, and the stakeholders in law enforcement, the American citizen, don't really trust don't really trust law enforcement as much as they used to maybe a couple of years ago. So, how can law enforcement agencies help better their brand, and how does this relate back to the Steinbeck? Giving community events, hosting community events. This might be giving tours of the agency or maybe giving tours of the Steinbeck winery. Um, hosting, having booths in community-oriented events. This helps create brand awareness, lets people know that you're out there and that you care about your community. Maybe having, in the terms of police department, you might want to have like youth programs, help kids, a rural program that might help kids or help other citizens to be involved with the security of their community. Another aspect would be to have an active social media account. This is a way to kind of get in touch with your younger audience. The more you get in touch with your younger audience, your Gen Z, your Gen Y, Gen Z audience, and this allows you to post community alerts. Maybe if there's something that can an active threat going on, you can post it to your social media and get that broadcasted out very fast. You can also promote jobs within your department or within, with Steinbeck Winery. You can say, hey, we're looking for jobs here. And people are always checking their social media. And that's going to be a really efficient way to promote any jobs or positions in your company. Lastly is engaging in any community outreach programs or tactics. This includes like donating to charity, any programs that are set in place to put the community first, and just anything that's going to create a more positive law enforcement interaction, or anything that's going to create a positive experience to your customer at the Steinbeck Winery. That's going to make them want to come back or make them appreciate you more. Here's my works cited for my research. Now I'm going to give it to Jesus to finish us off here.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jesus Garcia Elizalde. Luke touched on IT, Gage touched on law enforcement, and I'm going to touch on the glue of it all, human resources. My task was how to implement effective human resources tactics to ensure success. All right, Gage. The importance of human resources for Site 1. According to the Rippling team, in an article called HR in the Manufacturing Industry, Role and 7 Key Challenges, HR plays an important role in the success of businesses in any industry. You have to invest in employee knowledge that will keep the employee from hurting themselves, and knowledge that will help them propel and help them succeed. In the startup phase, it is vital to have an efficient and happy workforce, and not just an efficient and happy workforce, but a safe workforce, one that is goal-driven and willing to go the extra mile for your business. You can ensure this by including bonuses, gifts, and acknowledging your employees. How can you implement that? Well, by having accident prevention, prioritizing employee retention, and having performance standards. You have to be aware of employee wellness. Physical, emotional, and mental well-being are key to a safe and productive workplace. Also key to retaining a skilled talent. You can't ignore your employees. You can't not reward your employees for a good job. Imagine we're having a good year where you're working overtime, where you're really working hard and not getting a bonus at the end of the year. How you think your employee is going to feel? How are you going to feel? You're not going to feel valued. It's important to make your employees feel valued. A survey conducted by McKinsey and Company called Unlocking Frontline Workforce Stability and Productivity in Operations said that out of 4,000 employers identified talent retention as a top operations priority, surpassing revenue concerns. People feel more valued. People feel there is more value in being valued than monetary value, if that makes sense. Gage, next one, please. Safety and preventive knowledge. A simple manufacturing mistake could cost thousands of dollars. And in our site, we can't afford that, at least not in the startup phase. According to Neovasion, in an article called Manufacturing Training Tips for Creating a Safe and Efficient Workplace by Sydney Smith, without proper training, employers may struggle to perform effectively, leading to decrease in productivity, increase in waste, and a lower quality product. And you don't want that. That's why it's important to implement comprehensive training. Comprehensive training leads to higher employee confidence. According to Sydney Smith, higher employee confidence leads to increased output and higher levels of productivity. Research shows that an increase in productivity can result in a 24% higher profit margin, which is exactly what we want for our site. You need to have a safer work environment. Without a safe work environment, you have no work environment because you're always running the risk of someone getting hurt and it being a lawsuit and your operation shutting down. You need to create a structured onboarding program, one that ensures new hires will learn both critical skills and learn the consequences associated with irresponsibility. And it must be in line with the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, or OSHA for short. Touching back to what Luke had said, you have to create basic safety courses that can be automated and tracked with AI, having them watch courses, watch videos, like alongside on-site training, watching videos and going through tests and short exams where they can be trained and well aware of what they should know. And you don't have that takes out so much time out of your day because you don't have to be there when a computer can just tell you person A, person B, person C, and this is how much they have completed. All right, Gage, want to go to the next one, please? Workforce stability. An important part will be knowing what our front line is feeling, what they're thinking, and what they're doing. That's why it's important to conduct frontline surveys. With that, we can create a talent strategy, which we then can create a comprehensive performance management system. To tie back to Luke's AI and engage using automated tools for recruitment, performance management, and scheduling. If anyone has ever worked in manufacturing, you would know that it's all about efficiency, output, and quality control. It's the responsibility of the HR department to set clear, achievable goals aligned with the company's standards. And that is exactly what we want for our site. Thank you. Workforce ability, for workforce flexibility. So now, for workforce flexibility, you have to have a hybrid. For in today's world, you have to have hybrid and or office alternatives. It is essential. According to Manufacturers Alliance, hybrid work will be the prevailing model for salaried workers in manufacturing. 80% of manufacturing respondents expect organizations will formalize a flexible remote and in-person work model for employees during the next 12 months. It's the future, and the future is now. We're living in it. An important thing will be how to navigate local laws, provide wellness support, and leave policies. And according to Deloitte found that companies offering flexible schedules see up to 78% jump in job satisfaction. It's the world we live in now. People want to work and live their lives. So we have to work with them. And that will be vital in the success and livelihood of our site. Now, thank you.
All right,
And
thank you,
that
Jesus. So, yep, Professor, thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch our Steinbeck here, and we hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any other questions, you can shoot us any three of us an email in the shoot any three of us an email, and we'll be happy to answer them.
thank you.
All right. Yep. Thank you. Luke, anything to say? No. All right.
All
And all right.
good.
Thank you, Professor. All good. All right. Thank you, Professor, and we are done.